Today we're going to finish moving all the Lego. There's just a few things that remain in the Lego room, two of which are the large dioramas. So we've got the ski hill and also the mansion. I've built these on mill plates so they come apart fairly easily, although there's a little bit of destruction and a little bit of chaos, specifically with the ski hill. After I get that deconstructed, it's time to move on to the mansion, which comes apart really nicely. It's all modular style. I just have to refresh my mind on how it comes apart. Of course, the roof, floors, and walls can be removed from the garage section or main floor. All right, not too bad. Now we just got to move this Death Star somehow. We've got the mansion and ski hill deconstructed. Not too shabby at all. I hope that big component fits up the stairs, though. It's strong, it's on mills, but I don't know if we'll be able to get it around the corner. There's also the AT-AT walker there, the base for the Eiffel Tower, a bunch of miscellaneous stuff and minifigures, Santa Claus facing the wall, also the top of the Eiffel Tower, the Star Destroyer, some Brickheadz and bins, and after that's all gone, all of the Lego will be out of the Lego room. Oh yeah, there's also the boats on the floating shelf on the top of the screen there, so up and down the stairs we go. Mrs. Brixie's helping me out. Thank you so much. So awesome. Thank you. It's good having her help. We're actually doing this right before the Oilers game. We're doing it at night. I figured, you know what? Let's just get that van loaded up tonight so we can leave right in the morning. And that's going to be one of the final trips. Yes, the end is in sight. Originally, I thought we were going to be able to transport all of this stuff in one load. But those like giant dioramas are pretty demanding for when it comes to space, just because everything needs to be laid out flat so it doesn't get destroyed. I would hate to have to redo all my work. One of the last big sets that we've got to move is the Millennium Falcon, and there it goes up the stairs. Woohoo! Millennium Falcon gone. So here's the van. We've got the Brickheadz, the ski hill, a tote full of minifigures, all the different pieces of the mansion. We got the AT-AT walker on its side with some bubble wrap between its legs, and then there's the Death Star in the box, also the base of the Eiffel Tower. I hope this load survives. Also in the front seat, look who's riding shotgun. We got Santa Claus belted in there. Mrs. Brixie's gonna tail behind me with the Millennium Falcon in the trunk. We offloaded at the studio, and now it's time to load up again. Here we go. We got some remaining stuff like the giant base of the mansion, and we ended up getting it up the stairs without an issue. It's pretty awesome. Get those giant bins out of there, and then some other miscellaneous stuff along with the top of the Eiffel Tower, and it's official. All of the Lego is out of the Lego room, and the last thing I moved was the Star Destroyer. So there we have the mansion, also the base of the ski hill, also the Bricksie sign and some art wedged up against the side of the van, Captain America's shield, two large bins, and then right below me we've got the Star Destroyer. When I moved this the first time, it broke because the stand sucks, so what I decided to do was just cushion it around the entire base using bubble wrap, so it's sort of like supporting it and wedging it in spot, and I think it's going to survive the trip. Check out my cup holder, and then the Eiffel Tower is going between Mrs. Brixie's leg. Thank you so much. You're awesome. We did it, everybody. The move is officially done. All the Lego is here. Woohoo! We did it with the U-Haul van in 12 days. It's been a lot of loads back and forth. How many loads? I can't even remember, but all the Lego is officially here, and that is just such a good feeling. Originally, I thought I was going to be building the IKEA furniture today, but I walked into my basement after I got home and I was like, you know what? All of this stuff here, it's got to get out. We got to get the moving done, and then I can focus on building IKEA furniture and tidying everything up and actually setting up the displays. But the move is done. Can you believe it? I cannot believe it. It's just wild. Whoo, to think I did all that moving there without having my morning coffee. That was top priority once it was done. Mrs. Brixie's helped me out today, as you saw with the Eiffel Tower there. And she's sorting through my mess. When you move, someone's got to do it. Yeah, when you move, you put a bunch of stuff into boxes, and then you just throw the boxes on the shelf. So eventually you've got to go through all these different boxes and sort of come up with new systems in the new space. And that's what she's trying to do up here. So these shelves, there's going to be a lot of storage on those shelves. No, my hair, my bucket hat. Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's real cute.
It's a pretty sweet hat. But there's going to be a bunch of storage on these shelves here. Now, for example, all of my parts that we had to, or all of our parts that we had to get sorted were in the bins, but we actually decided to move those down here just because it makes sense to have them underneath the parts. So it's like, okay, we got sorted parts and then unsorted parts underneath. Also, yesterday when I was at IKEA, I bought 2 of the Alex shelving units. I hope I can build those today, but we only have a babysitter until 2 o'clock, and we've got to go return the U-Haul. So we only have like 45 minutes, and then we've got to go. And I don't know if I'm going to come back after that. We need 2 people to return the U-Haul because I'm going to drive the U-Haul. Jose's going to follow behind me and then drop the U-Haul off, and then I can go home. But I don't know if I'm going to drive all the way back here after that. Yeah, I mentioned it a couple videos ago that it would be neat to unpack all the Lego and have it in the warehouse bay. And for the most part, it's all here. So let's have a look at the full collection just on the ground, right? Isn't that cool? We got the UCS Razor Crest, Sandcrawler, Superstar Destroyer, Death Star playset, UCS Helicarrier, the Burrow, my custom castle, the Justifier, the Blacksmith Mills Plate, Castle Fortificata, another custom castle, Imperial Shuttle, the micro-scale Hogwarts, the Ghost, A-Wing, Coruscant Guard gunship, all the Ninjago stuff. There's the Natural History Museum, some beach plates, Winnie the Pooh, the Gringotts roller coaster system there, whatever you want to call it, Home Alone, Hogwarts, the Hocus Pocus house or cottage, Sanderson Sisters cottage, Hedwig, all sorts of plates in there for the campground. Also the airstrip, more beach stuff. There's the double Disney castle, the Mountain View Observatory on its large custom plate, the mountain, the zoo plates, Rivendell, Lion Knight Castle, Lighthouse, Chewbacca! Some modular buildings like the Sanctum Sanctorum, Town Hall, Pet Shop, all sorts of good stuff. Ooh, I didn't even mention the Coliseum, Vorthank Tower, Tower of Vorthank, Mos Eisley Cantina. Wow, it's like I know all this stuff, but sometimes it's hard to rattle them off consecutively. We've got some more Hagrid's huts over here. Oh my gosh, dinosaur eggs. Also, Hungarian Horntail, piano, 1989 Batmobile, another really cool Batmobile, UCS Y-Wing, TIE Fighter, Pac-Man, another Imperial Shuttle, Slave One, the Royal Clam Show, is that the name of it? Maybe. The Typewriter, Snow Speeder, Cat D11. I should just fire that up and bulldoze everything. Let's not and say we did. There's the Imperial Light Cruiser, another Razor Crest, some pod racers, a couple tumblers, Mandalorian helmet. There's some wood, the wood minifigure. Also the London bus. That should probably go up with all my other vehicles up there. Whoops, forgot about that guy. Same with the Land Rover Defender 90. Sorry about the noise in the background. That's the blasted neighbors. I should tell them to shut down their business when I'm filming. Got all sorts of TIE fighters and the buildable figures. Then some boxes. The Lego house one specifically is autographed by the designer, which is super cool. Stranger Things upside down. The Boeing plane, the time machine, Disney train station, Slave One, some Star Wars buildable characters, Harry and Hermione, right behind the Metalbeard Sea Cow, the massive ski hill, the top of the slope there, there's part of the mansion, another part of the mansion, bottom of the slope, and there's the just fleet of AT-AT walkers in the center there. Some pirate ships, the ship in the bottle, all sorts of Avatar stuff, which is just a scattered mess. Oh my gosh, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Maybe I should build a diorama in a shelf. Don't hold me to it. Then we've got all sorts of Brickheadz on these displays. Unfortunately, one Brickhead display didn't make it. Oh no! It didn't fall apart in the truck, but I want to rebuild it anyway because it's got a bunch of valuable green brick in the structure of it. Then there's all the Brickheadz that were on that display. Over here we have the Ewok Village, a couple UCS X-Wings, Obi-Wan Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter with hyperdrive, UCS Imperial Shuttle, Guardians of the Galaxy ship, the boat that floats right by the Batwing, Millennium Falcon, Captain America's shield, right by a couple lightsabers, the Ninjago, shrine set, all the micro fighters, woo! I unpacked them all on the ground, look at that. Now when I set up the display, I can be like, bam, micro fighters, you're going in this tray and you're going on this shelf. Oh my gosh, look at all the walkers. So many different types of walkers. There's the question mark block. Also spaceship, there's a spaceship on the ground. Oh my gosh, that should be suspended from the ceiling. All sorts of cool stuff in this pile. I'm sure I missed a bunch of it, that's for sure. Along this wall here, we've got the movie theater, which was in the mansion, some of the houses of the world, the Quinjet, another part of the mansion there. Darth Vader, oh my gosh, he fell apart. His arms fell off and so did his cape. Should be pretty easy to repair that. All of the helmets, along with the Disney duos and the Disney camera, the jazz quartet. There's another part of the mansion, woo! And then there is all sorts of planes, all the stuff that was sort of suspended from the ceiling there. Rocket Raccoon, how you doing, buddy? What's going on? Also Groot, Iron Man, some Hulkbusters. In front of the Thor's hammer, there's the Hall of Armor right there, along with some gauntlets and the adamantium claw. And then the AT Walker UCS, it sort of made it. There was some damage. To be expected though. I'm actually pretty happy with the way that it was transported. Not too bad at all. Just put some bubble wrap around its legs. Oh my gosh, 501st Battle Pack stuff. I've got a lot of it, holy cow. There's the other parts for the AT Walker, Santa, and also Cloud City. And the Bricksie side, it made it in one piece. Yeah! That's gonna go on the art wall, which will be located up there. And then we have the Hogwarts art. Hey, that's not with all the other art, which is over there by Spider-Man. Hey, Spider-Man's upside down, but he's actually right side up. My goodness. There's all the stuff that we need to assemble so that we can display all of these epic sets. All sorts of boats over here. Hopefully the new Lego City will have a harbor. Not hopefully, it will have a harbor. There's the midsection of the ski hill, along with the base of the mansion, the ground floor or garage. That actually made it in one piece. It's just one giant Mills plate. Mrs. Bricksie and I could haul it right up like that. There were some minifigures that were moving around along with the staircase. But beyond that, it transported like a beauty. We got the top of the Eiffel Tower. It made it. I can assemble the Eiffel Tower because we've got the bottom midsection and the top. It made it safely. There's also the other Captain America shield by Bricker Builds. Some miscellaneous small clutter in these bins right there, along with all the name bricks. In front of some of the UCS stands and specification plaques, also my hoard of Lego books, some other miscellaneous stuff such as Sonic the Hedgehog right beside the vacuum, and some Mega Construct stuff in this bin. This is all like Mills plates for roads and train track, a bunch of miscellaneous train yard stuff. Hopefully we can have a train yard. Not hopefully, we will have a train yard. All the other art right here. There's the Spider-Man that's upside down, but not upside down, but he is upside down. Yeah, he's just hanging around. Then we've got some more art there, along with the world map art. Whoo! And there's actually more in these rooms. I started moving some of the UCS stuff on this display. This is most likely where the UCS stuff will be located. I'm thinking this is going to be all Lego Star Wars. I do have a plan to expand that once I get around to building my IKEA furniture. So I'm actually going to expand it so that it comes out to about right there on the bottom of the camera. And I think that's going to look pretty epic. Turn some lights on. We got the Star Destroyer made it in one piece. A couple pieces fell off, no big deal. Also the Millennium Falcon, the Death Star made it. A few pieces fell off, but that should be fairly easy to repair. The Venator, the gunship, and then right there's Luke's land speeder. In this room, we've got more Lego City stuff, and for some reason, a random piece of the mansion is hanging out right there on the longer cabinet, which I plan to put into the UCS display right behind me there. In here, there's all the Lego City stuff. Avengers Tower, Carousel, a haunted house, a different haunted house, some of the platform coverings, boutique hotel, Diagon Alley, corner garage, detective's office, custom hospital, jazz club, the up house. There's also the Disney costume shop, the Daily Bugle, which has been split into many sections, the roller coaster, woo! Also a nice looking mountain over here, and the base of that mountain that actually goes up to the Mountain View Observatory, which was in the other room, a really cool looking Central Park, which hopefully can all be reassembled and put into the Lego City. Look at that, they're having an absolute party on top of that building. Oh my gosh. That is the Ghostbusters HQ, and there are a ton of cool minifigures on top of that. Behind the Ghostbusters HQ is the custom-built dungeon and also train station, which was built into the raised platform coverings. There's also the skyscraper right there beside the haunted house. Then there is my custom-built tuning shop in here, along with the mall right behind it, the Grand Emporium that is. All sorts of cool city stuff in this room. And this stuff's gonna have to be moved because when I get around to building the shelving, it's sort of in the way. So there we go, that's pretty much the entire Lego collection in one shot. I cannot believe that all of this stuff was jammed in my basement. Not only was it all of the sets, but it was all of the parts and all of everything else, all of the unsorted stuff, the sealed set collection. I forgot about all these too. They're part of the collection, right? We got all the vehicles up top here. And then all the parts, some sets that I need to build on top of those parts. Still haven't even touched these. And May the 4th Probos are just around the corner. I feel like I'm gonna be building some Star Wars stuff on that day. I feel like that's a must. And then we've got the sealed Lego collection here as well. Bunch of IKEA stuff on the bottom. Lego City, some Brickheadz, the larger stuff along the top. Some Star Wars stuff on this shelf here. A Marvel to the left of that. Friends and GWPs to the right. And look at Mrs. Bricksie go.
Sorting plastic bags.
She's sorting plastic bags. All the space stuff, which eventually is going to be located up top there, I think. I think that's going to look pretty sweet. In addition to the space stuff, we've got the UCS Hogwarts Express, the B-Wing and Elsa's Frozen Ice Castle, and Darth Vader's TIE Fighter Advance. Well, there we go. That is the entire collection. I'm going to join Mrs. Bricksie, try and tidy some stuff up. Then I've got to go home, tidy up the empty Lego room, and we'll feature that as well. Give me some skin. Wow. Look at that. What a difference. My gosh. A little bit of organization. Everything's labeled. You got minifigs, bags, miscellaneous whatnot, a bunch of trays of minifigs. Those look pretty cool right there. And then some parts that eventually just need to be sorted and integrated into all the other part systems that we have. And then some miscellaneous stuff that's all labeled. Essentially, I just need to go through all this stuff one day, build it or part it out or decide what we're going to do with it and get it dealt with. Eventually, I'd like these shelves to be pretty much like empty, and it can store like the stuff that looks cool, like minifigures, sets, and just cool stuff. That's the whole intent. There we go. Not too bad at all. Good job, Mrs. Bricksie. That is absolutely fantastic. Also, I threw the legs on this table over there, so that's good. And now I have the wheel table floating around here. There's some other stuff like all of these parts They just need to be sorted and broken down. Same with all these base plates over here. Those used to be mounted to the wall and host my minifig collection in the old Lego room, but everything's getting a little bit more tidy each day. And now that everything's here, we can continuously work on just tidying up this place and setting up all the displays. That's about all we can get done here today at the studio because I've got to go return that U-Haul, and I still want to do some cleaning up at home in the existing Lego room. And by cleaning up, I mean removing all the shelving. So I put the track shelves all around the perimeter of the room, and then I also put the bulkhead shelves. On the bulkhead there, I used like the lac floating shelves. Oh my gosh, it took me so long to install all of this shelving. Getting it all leveled, finding all the steel studs, screwing through the steel studs, connecting the shelves, standing on the Lego tables. It sucked. And it's just funny to think that it took me so long to install, and here I am ripping it all out within, like, I think it was like an hour and a half. Maybe not even. But here I am ripping it all out and revealing all of the holes in the walls. Oh my gosh, so many holes. And then in addition to taking all this stuff down, I'm also transporting it all to the garage. So, oh my gosh, there is another countless amount of trips up and down the stairs. And with all that shelving down, the Lego room is now empty and also stripped down to its bare bones. Holy, look at this place. It's wild. It looks so clean, although it's not really that clean. The floors need to be swept and mopped. And I also need to go around and patch the 580 holes I put in the walls. There's holes everywhere. The track shelving and the floating shelves just ruin the walls. But it's gonna be very easy to fix. Just grab one of those like razors, scrape all this off, and then patch it with some spackle. I've got my spackle on this desk right over here ready to go. Sand it down, and then if it requires a second, third coat, so be it. Like I know this one right back here, it's gonna require quite a few coats. So there's some stuff that remains in the Lego room. First off, my bamboo desk there on the wheels. I need to have some sort of film studio down here because I still want to film time lapses and reviews and maybe some Q&As here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna set that up in this nook right here. This is the smaller of the two nooks. You can see how wide it is, not too bad. You can fit the desk in there. I could have it up against the wall and build against the wall, or I could have a chair behind it and have the camera set up like this for reviews. It's got a white backdrop, looks pretty killer. I think that's a good setup right there, and it's not gonna consume a huge amount of space in the basement. Or if I find it's not large enough and I need more space, then I could always do it over here as well. The larger nook, we've got like 8 feet of width right here. It's hard to believe that the parts inventory, the desks, the track shelving used to fit in this little tiny space. Oh my gosh, like it doesn't look big at all. But I could keep this here as my film studio, pretty cool. We've got white walls on either side. So that might be the table set up like that. That might be pretty neat. Also have this like carpet right here. It's sort of an odd shape, like the dimensions of it are weird, so it's specifically designed for this area, so I might keep it here. But there's also a few other things that we want to do in this basement. First off, we've got to have some space for the kids. That's why we decided to keep these PAX units here. Well, that's one of the reasons. They would be a nightmare to take apart, as I've mentioned in previous videos. But what we're going to do is pop some doors on them. You can buy doors for these units. So I'm going to buy 3 sets of those, put doors on them, and then we're going to put all the kids' toys in there. So that'll be cool. I'm not sure if we're going to run them along this wall or I don't know. Either way, we're going to make some cabinets for the kids' toys out of those existing PAX units. So I think that's a good choice there. We could put the kids' play area right here as well. Of course, kids will be bombing around this whole basement. I'm sure they'll declare the whole basement as their own. And then what we're going to do, we're thinking we've got this large sectional couch upstairs. So it actually has a chaise, and then it goes that way, and the couch goes like that. So it's like a U shape, but the chaise comes to about there. So we're thinking we're going to put it right here, going up to that pillar. Actually, this represents the couch back, so I think that's where it's going to go. And then we're going to pop our TV on the cabinet right there, so the TV is going to go right there. We'll be chilling on the couch right there watching TV, so I think that's going to be like a really cool little family couch area in this half. And I'm still thinking about getting a pool table. The problem is there might not be enough space for a pool table. It's sort of an issue. 7-foot pool table requires a lot of space, and I don't know if it's going to fit in this spot here. From this wall to this wall, it's 14 feet, and then from that wall to the back of the couch would be 13 feet, which is less than you need to fit a pool table, but I'm thinking if we put it orientated this way, well, then I have this open space right here, so it opens that up, and we're only gonna have a couch right here, so you can sort of angle up over the couch if it's close to the bumper or whatever it may be. So I'm thinking a pool table there, that might be pretty neat. That would be pretty cool. And then some more like additional kids play stuff over here. Once again, the couch, the TV, kids play stuff, and then maybe my little filming studio over there. I think that'd be pretty epic for a basement for the family. Got everything you need. I sort of like this video wraps up an end of an era here on this channel. Like we did so much in this room over the last 4 years, and it was an incredible journey. I love this place, and I can't wait to transform this into something different that's going to be awesome for me and my family. It's going to be amazing. I'm glad that we have the lights down here. Oh, that's another thing too. The lights right now, they're on 4000K, they're adjustable. So I'm actually gonna reduce them down to 3000K. So they're more of like that yellowish color. Right now it's like super bright down here. So I think it'll be better if it's the yellowish color. Might be a little bit too bright. Although with that said, I did put dimmers in when we built this place. So we can always dim them down. Maybe 4000K is the way to go, because we can dim them like this. Haven't quite decided. It would create a lot of sawdust or a lot of drywall dust changing them all. I've got to like pull them all out of the ceiling. Plus it would be sort of annoying, there's a lot of them. So maybe I'll just live with what they are. I don't know, I sort of don't mind it for the basement, I guess. Keeps it nice and bright. 4000K is like the daylight, right? That's like sunlight. Whereas 3000K is more of like the yellowish color. I'm sort of liking the bright color. I'll think about that. Hey, look, I left the Bricksie side up there. Also, we've got some stuff. We left Baby Grogu down here, some Funko Pops, and Buzz Lightyear. That stuff's going to stay here, and we're going to just sort of have some cool knickknacks down here. So yeah, I guess I'm going to start patching walls and get this place all freshened up in my spare time and sort of go from there. Next up, we're going to be building furniture at the studio, so make sure you stay tuned. Please remember to like, subscribe, and we'll see you again in the near future. Farewell.